Tiramos el sal que está pendiente de la cita. Está malvada y quien la ve tan bonita. Estoy pa' ti siempre, beba. Bebamos la noche entera. Dame, baby, nos fugamos tú y en la noche. Que eres independiente y se te ve. Yo lo sé, que tienes interés, baby, dame, baby, nos fugamos. Un mensaje mío, ya mismo te pones bien elegante, yeah. Que yo sí he creído, pero lo que hago contigo en la noche es arte, yeah. Quieres la llama cuando tienes frío. Al menos, chica, eres muy sensata. Te vas cuando tus padres están dormidos. Y lista pa' perrear, bebé, a los saca. Yeah, mama, baby, nos fugamos tú y en la noche. Que eres independiente y se te ve. Yo lo sé, tienes interés, baby, mama, baby, nos fugamos. 1, 2, 3, comienza la acción. Ella es fanática de la atención. Canta a pulmón justo esa canción que le cambió toda la dirección. Ya que ese ex no quiere más, no quiere llanto, no quiere nada. Quiere gozarla, quiere escapar de lo que era su realidad. Ya no está puesta para el drama, lo que quiere es gozar, no pecar.
A todos los palomos dice que tienen millo, pero no tienen nada. Tengo Gucci, Prada, Balenciaga, todo lo que tú quieras ver. Palomo, alerta.
Porque tengo los millones. 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 Porque tengo los
Y nada no me hace feliz, pero a ti falta. Yo juego con mi Lambo y ese mil en tu la banca. Egocéntrico como el pana arca. Estoy pegado porque la meta está muy alta. Vamos a volar, a volar, a volar. Vamos a volar, a volar. Vamos a volar, a volar, a volar. Donde estoy pegado, donde tú no cascarás. Vamos a volar, que no somos de la tierra. Llegó el alienígena para darle todo guerra. Ya que está pegado.
Hello. It is Salty Coffee. How's everyone doing today? We're just going to go over what's going to happen tonight. It is April 1st. This is not an April Fool's prank, but we are doing the Salty Coffee podcast today. Poetry contest, the 4th annual poetry contest. And before I go in on the stereo app, will start at 8:15, I'll probably get there a little bit earlier just because the app is also like kind of delayed with sending the notifications and people may have forgotten. But definitely from here, it takes longer. Sometimes about half an hour for people to come onto YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So thank you for stopping by. I am the host, and Salty Coffee started in 2020 to empower people to do what they do. And this is our fourth annual poetry contest. The first poetry contest, which was only aired on Facebook, had people from Ecuador voting. And it was amazing. It was a great time. It was beautiful. I loved it. And the winners were Liz Peters, who's now Liz White. And she her poem was I Love You So Much, actually A Prince's Father. And she won. I had to split it because there was two winners in 2020. I Love You So Much Daddy by Denise, who was 9 years old at the time. And she was the one that got all the votes from Ecuador, from all over New York. And it was awesome. It was an awesome time. And I had no clue about um StreamYard. I had no clue about that you couldn't do the live in a private page, where the public, unless they're following you, I knew nothing of the sort, but it worked out. People engaged, people voted, and the votes were taken by phone text. And of course, I didn't save those numbers for purposes of marketing or anything like that. But I did encourage people to visit the website and subscribe for free. And my website is still up and running now for this whole 2020 to now. And I'm excited to announce that the website is still run by me. I create all of those videos that you see. I create, I updated, I create the bookings, all of that. And if you need help with any of that, feel free to stop by or say hello. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my camera. How's everyone doing? I recently, how do I do this? Okay, I recently cut it all off. So it's a little different, and I was told not to change my photo. I was told not to change my photo because if the branding and people knew me for the picture, they were like, "Don't change it, don't bother." But I love this haircut. I feel different. I feel free, and it's amazing. The person who won the poetry contest in 2021 was Miss, uh, was it? No, the Mr. Lawrence J. And it was the first time that we added male content in that season. And the poem is called Evolving Love of a Man's Journey. And it was beautiful. And I'm going to play it just for you to hear it. And then in 2022, last year, we had a participant who is our family member from Stereo App, known as Caramello. And she won last year's contest. And I am so happy to, okay, so now I am on, okay, perfect. I'm on Stereo App right now. So feel free to come up and let me play Evolving Love of a Man's Journey. And I do want to say this episode is explicit. There will be cursing, there will be sexual content on it. So if you have your children around, you may want to put on your headphones to listen. And if you're a child and you're on stereo, you must be 18 years or older. I'm going to hold the comments on Stereo App for the first hour, and but please feel free to leave them and I will play them during our breaks. There are 6 participants in this contest, and I'm excited for them. Hopefully they were all on Stereo App, and I'm hoping that none of them have an issue logging on. So I am excited. And I want to announce, if you would like to leave a message, you can dial 908 793 94. Let's see if I have this here. Nope, that's not it. No, well, that's not it. But my phone number is on my website, and you can watch there too. So I am going to leave you with Evolving Love of a Man's Journey by Lawrence J.
If love is blind, then I got my eyesight back some time ago. Aging has a way of making a man go from looking at your thighs to staring in your eyes and behold the windows of your soul. When I was young, dumb, and filled with cum, I could not see beyond my infatuation with sex. The way the lips of her country looked, the reaction she made with each stroke, the thank you she gave me by covering my shaft with the white cream of her pleasure, the screams of satisfaction with the licks on her clit. Those feelings pale in comparison of what life taught me, because no one told me that those women's hearts were connected to their vaginas. And while a lot of them were falling in love, I was falling in lust. Love is acquired when one learns how to love, and one cannot learn to love until they learn self-love first. If you do not love yourself, how can you know what you want? Infatuation taught me true hurt and heartbreak, because companionship cannot be found with someone more selfish than you. Heartbreak taught me pain. Pain taught me loneliness. Loneliness taught me self-examination. Self-examination showed me who I really am. It was that person who I introduced myself to that I fell in love with. That is the person that has compassion and understanding. That is the person that knows how to give as well as receive. It is the man that sees the real woman he is with. The man that loves the look of your body, the scent of your DNA, and the taste of your juices flowing. For now, loving you means loving me, and with so much in life left to discover, love is good, but it begins with you.
So I have a quick question for those of you on stereo. Were you able to hear that poem? Leave a heart if you're able to hear it. Oh Lord. How are you? Those of you on YouTube, welcome. Oh my God, look at my hair. So I definitely know you can hear me on stereo for the comments and my voice, but if you are not able to hear me, if you're not able to hear what I just played, please let me know. Oh my God. It's a storm right now. It is thundering and lightning. Shonda, are you there? Can you leave me a heart on stereo? If you can hear the poem that I just played. If you didn't hear it, then throw some tomatoes. All right. And that was Lawrence Evolving of One Man's Journey from 2021 Poetry Contest. Oh, somebody left me. Oh, yeah, you heard it, Karen, because you're on the other app. Oh, someone just hit me with a tomato. All right, so this is gonna be interesting. How am I gonna do this now? No, hey, Salty. On stereo, I did not hear it. Whew, okay, so mm, I guess I'm gonna have to do the speaker uh when I do the other stuff. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to play the let me see if the warmth of your cradle. The warmth of your cradle. The warmth of your cradle, the nourishment you provide. As I develop my sense of touch, the feeling of your warm appeal around my body, waiting patiently for the day to look into your eyes, to feel your arms around me. You push me out with great pains, which brings forth tears of joy. 126, you finally hold me in your arms. I'm safe here, safe here. This is love. This is comfort. I want to stay here forever. Your tone of voice, calming every emotion. When I cry, you calm me with a soft lullaby. I fall asleep in your arms. I'm safe here. This is love. This is comfort. I want to stay here forever. Floral aldehyde fragrance, citrus bergamot, hyacinth green leaf, tarragon peach, sandalwood, and vanilla captures your smooth scent. It's like a spring breeze that dispenses golden dandelion seeds over long distances with no barriers to carry it where it's comfortable to go. Like a lily pad drifting away in calming currents on stream. Sombers of emery wood on a sear, brightening up the night sky. My reflection in your eyes. Echoes of smooth jazz playing in the background. You lift me up with remnants of your essence. This is love. This cradle is made in eternity. Echoes of laughter and joy. Your mesh garments gently pillowing my skin. Plush like feathers as I lay in the warmth of your eternal cradle. The warmth of your cradle. The warmth of your cradle, the nourishment you provide. As I develop my sense of touch, the feeling of your warm appeal around my body, waiting patiently for the day to look into your eyes, to feel your arms around me. You push me out with great pains, which brings forth tears of joy. 126, you finally hold me in your arms. I'm safe here, safe here. This is love. This is comfort. I want to stay here forever. Your tone of voice, calming every emotion. When I cry, you calm me with a soft lullaby. I fall asleep in your arms. I'm safe here. This is love. This is comfort. I want to stay here forever. Floral aldehyde fragrance, citrus bergamot, hyacinth green leaf, tarragon peach, sandalwood, and vanilla captures your smooth scent. It's like a spring breeze that dispenses golden dandelion seeds over long distances with no barriers to carry it where it's comfortable to go. Like a lily pad drifting away in calming currents on stream. Sombers of emery wood on a sear, brightening up the night sky. My reflection in your eyes. Echoes of smooth jazz playing in the background. You lift me up with remnants of your essence. This is love. This cradle is made in eternity.
Echoes of laughter and joy, your mesh garments gently pillowing my skin, plush like feathers as I lay in the warmth of your eternal cradle.
Hello. Okay, there we go. So that was Caramello from the Stereo app world with Eternal Cradle. And I'm going to play the winner for 2021, which is Lawrence J. And here we go.
If love is blind, then I got my eyesight back some time ago. Aging has a way of making a man go from looking at your thighs to staring in your eyes and behold the windows of your soul. When I was young, dumb, and filled with cum, I could not see beyond my infatuation with sex. The way the lips of her country looked, the reaction she made with each stroke, the thank you she gave me by covering my shaft with the white cream of her pleasure, the screams of satisfaction with the licks on her clit. Those feelings pale in comparison of what life taught me, because no one told me that those women's hearts were connected to their vaginas. And while a lot of them were falling in love, I was falling in lust. Love is acquired when one learns how to love, and one cannot learn to love until they learn self-love first. If you do not love yourself, how can you know what you want? Infatuation taught me true hurt and heartbreak, because companionship cannot be found with someone more selfish than you. Heartbreak taught me pain. Pain taught me loneliness. Loneliness taught me self-examination. Self-examination showed me who I really am. It was that person who I introduced myself to that I fell in love with. That is the person that has compassion and understanding. That is the person that knows how to give as well as receive. It is the man that sees the real woman he is with. The man that loves the look of your body, the scent of your DNA, and the taste of your juices flowing. For now, loving you means loving me, and with so much in life left to discover, love is good, but it begins with you.
So that was Lawrence Johnson from the winner of 2021. So he's not participating in this contest, but we're just showcasing the people who have won before. In 2020, we had two winners. Each one got $100 by Denise. I Love You Daddy, 9 years old. She got $100. A Prince's Father by Elizabeth, and she also won $100. In 2021, it was the poem that you just heard by Lawrence J., Evolving Love of One Man's Journey. And in April of 2022, Eternal Cradle by our beautiful sister from Stereo app, Caramello. Congratulations to them. Tonight, we have 6 contestants One, two, three, four, and five on, and six. So we have all six. Two of them are on our stream live through StreamYard, not on stereo. But if you would like to watch the live, you can by visiting www.saltycoffeepodcast.com, or you can go at the handle at YouTube Salty Coffee Podcast, or you can go to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, Salty Coffee Podcast, the same name. So feel free to visit us there, or you can watch it live for the people who are participating in the other platforms. That's just the people who follow Salty Coffee, because as you know, I'm not a person from stereo, but I'm getting to learn new people. And I usually listen because I'm learning. And this has not been an easy process. In 2020, actually, I want to go back of why I started Salty Coffee Podcast. Most of you know already the story, but some of you who are stopping by tonight do not know. On March 31st, 1989, I escorted my mother to the hospital for hernia operation. And that same day, she was in a coma. They gave her overdose of anesthesia. And so for March 31st through April 12th, which is when I got the phone call that they had to pull the plug. So moving forward, every April, I have a poetry contest. Sorry about that. I have a poetry contest to share the story of how to help other people. At 19 is when she passed away. I pretty much not have friends and family who supported, because at 19 back then in 1989, you would know that, hey, you're on your own. That's Generation X for you with the baby boomers. But I feel that it's important for all of us, women specifically, to support each other and make sure that we are all okay. So the $200 is for me to give to you in hopes that you will learn how to invest, that you will learn and go out and research on how to do life insurance for your children. Sorry about that. And just move forward and love each other. We're going to play one message from Stereo app.
Fourth annual Salty Coffee Poetry Contest. I am excited. I've been waiting for this all fucking day. My bad, excuse my language. I'm trying to stop cursing. But I've been waiting for this, but I'm excited. What's up, Salty Coffee? What's up, everybody with me down the listening section? I'm excited for this one. I am very happy to be here. Nothing but health, happiness, success to all of y'all, man. Peace and love, everybody.
Thank you. And let's give a shout out to the king of stereo, Shonda, Lunar Goddess, Rada Dada, Anita Louise, May, Nini, and Bia Chia. Leave your messages now because we're going to start soon. I'm hoping that everyone is on. Karen is on. I think Miriam is Miriam or Nini. We're going to hear from Lunar Goddess, Nini, and May from Stereo app, and Karen, who's not only a good friend of mine, but she pretty much has gone through a lot as well. So who better than to have on here? Thank you so much for stopping by. Please feel free to share. And if you're gonna leave a comment, please leave it now, but do not leave, because it would be your job to vote for them. I personally do not like to, um, pick a winner. or have a committee to pick a winner. I want the audience to really feel free to go ahead and vote, or you can leave a comment with your preferred artist because we all are artists.
Wow. First of all, peace to the room. Peace to you, Salty Coffee. First, thank you so much for doing this. And I've never heard the story before. I just want to say I had a thought yesterday, rising, about getting my kids life insurance. And I don't know why the thought popped in my head, but it did. I literally said I have to get life insurance for my children. This just lets me know that I am on the right path continuously. And thank you for what you do. Thank you for your movement. Yes, it's going to be a great evening, a great show.
Thank you, Lunar Goddess.
Hello there, grand evening, Salty Coffee into the room. Grand evening out there in podcasting world. This is great. Glad I had a chance to come. Thank you, Luna Goddess, for sending me the show. I think this is great what you're doing, Salty Coffee. I used to write poetry a long time ago, and I just don't anymore, but happy to be here. Hope everybody's having a great evening.
Thank you, Queen Donatella. I really appreciate that message. I know I come to your room and never do, but that's mostly because I am at work and never can talk. But I do appreciate your sharing of your stories, and they really are helpful every day.
Hey, Salty Coffee. What's up, Lunar Goddess, TT, and the rest of the room? Sorry I can't see everyone, but I'm excited about this. Thank you for doing this. I'm looking forward to it.
So, just for the people who are walking in on stereo, please note that this is also being broadcast on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So, and followed by Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Breaker, and a lot other podcasts, podcasts, I guess, streaming. But we're gonna go ahead and introduce the first artist. Her name is Karen, and I hope she's ready over on the other side. Give me 1 second, Karen. I'm gonna mute myself. But before you speak, I want you to give us your name, the name of the poem, and just a little bit about where you're from and what inspired you to write this poem.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Karen. I am from New York originally. Thank you so much, Salty Coffee, for sharing your history. I had a very close friend just lost her daughter about 2 weeks ago to a drunk driver. And one of the first things she said to me on the phone was, I have to get off the phone because I have to call my job because of the life insurance. And I'm raising 3 children they're not children, they're young adults. And just this morning, I had to do something that was it was incredibly uncomfortable. And what I'm going to share is, I wasn't going to share this one because I wrote a few things today, but this is like a love letter, and it's called Choose. It's called Choose. So I'm going to start now. Watching you, your tears, your vulnerability, it scares me. Yet my ferocious faith protects you. I cry when I see the pain. I'm powerless to take it away. Times I reflect and I question, does someone hear me when I pray? Are my prayers ever answered, ever heard? It's exhausting. It's gratifying. It's hard. I prayed before my words come out. Your heart is so precious to me, but my boundary must be felt. I pray not to hurt your heart, but disrespect won't live here. You teach me daily. Love is action. Feeding and clothing you was the easy part. Molding you with firmness needed, that still comes. To teach you what self-respect means. Well then, how am I living? Do I practice what I preach? I did realize how much you watched me when I overheard an argument you had with your friend. My mom doesn't even dress that way. Wow, that made me see I did matter. I am a good mom. I just have to keep showing up. My black son, my love, is bigger than the ocean, sea. I don't know your struggle. I don't know your pain. I don't know what you face when you walk out the door. You are a king in the making. Royalty comes in levels. The crown is there. And as long as I have breath in my body, home is your safety zone. You have everything you need. Trust what's inside. When fear creeps up, you get to choose. Give in or face it. I see you. We'll ride with you till the end. I love you. That's it. I'm done. So that poem is for my sons. I have a set of twins, 2 male sons, and it's emotionally and mentally challenging to want to raise 2 young Black men prospering and doing well. And when they open up, it's like you're holding a gentle glass that you don't want to drop on the floor, and it's to be protected. And as they're growing up, you know, they deal with struggles, and sometimes, like, not sometimes, I'm very clear that as a woman, I'm not a man, but I could get into that masculine energy, and it's exhausting, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I just have this letter for them. Yeah, and thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for the other contestants for being here. I'm looking forward to hearing everyone, and I will pass my time. Thank you again for this opportunity.
So for the listeners on stereo and outside of stereo, this was Karen. And Karen, can you let us know the name of the title of the poem again?
Oh, it's Choose. The name of the poem is Choose.
Okay. And when we're ready to vote, the link is available on the stereo app, and I will add the link on the comments here on StreamYard so it can broadcast to the listeners on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Please bear with me. This is not easy. I have 5 monitors and I still get lost in the sauce. But Karen, this is a beautiful poem, and thank you so much for sharing your story as well. And I hope that I can inspire and continue to inspire you. Oh, I think she left. Okay. So we had Karen, and is this Nini or us? We have someone that I think is also on stereo app on the other app. But come on up here on stereo for the next person. Give me 1 second. I gotta keep looking at the list. It could be May, it could be Nini, or Shonda. Shonda, I think you're next. Can you come up? I have it, anyone can request to join. Give me 1 second. All right, stereo app. Am I doing something wrong? Who's next? Shonda, you can come up next. I think you're the second one. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to join, but I'm having technical difficulties.
Okay. Are you guys following me? Do I have you blocked? No, I'm just kidding. Um, MVP, are you able to join us back on the live stream link? And this, as I have it as, oh, maybe I should invite you. Hold on. Here we go. So I'm calling you May. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, May. How are you? I'm sorry about that. I'm still, after all these years, still learning stereo. So
It's
bear.
fine. It's fine.
Okay. Give us your
Thank you for
name.
having me up here.
No, thank you for actually registering, and um I'm so like ecstatic if that's a word. But thank you so much for participating, and just give us your name, where you're from, and what inspired you to write your poem.
Yes, my name is May, aka MVP Carrot Cake. I'm from the DMV area, and what inspired me to write this poem was a domestic violence relationship that I was in.
Thank you.
And the title of the poem is That Sausage.
All right, I'm gonna mute myself here on stereo so we can all hear you clearly.
Okay. All right. We not shacking in no sausage shack. Did you forget that them sausages will leave you with them heart attacks? At those tacks so sticky we post up. Like the notes, I ain't going out from no nigga so it can be murder that he wrote. Here, I choke on a bombastic beat at the palace, at a sausage palace. He tried to leave me at my feet, like I wanted to repent. He ain't know that I was heaven sent. I was, and I am, a dove. Heart wasn't filled with sausages. It was filled with love and understanding. And I wanted to be understood, not missed out. Remember, boy, I'm still a girl from the hood, but done shacking with the robber at heart. I should have left from the start. I'm thinking in my head like shit, been broken, torn apart. Once I gave him my manifestations and relations, he used and abused me, turned things around in the Love Shack jacuzzi. But I went Kobe on him. I went swish, swish, swish. Then I fried his ass up like tss, tss, tss. There was no sausage that was going to be hostage. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, May, for that. And I really heard the message. I heard it loud and clear. Can you give me the title again?
It's called That Sausage.
Anything you would like to add to your story, or you prefer to just anything that we need to know about moving forward or the after? You know,
Moving forward, I got help at a shelter after the domestic violence relationship. And to any women that are out there experiencing domestic violence, please seek help because it will change your life. You don't have to be stuck in that predicament forever. So thank you.
thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna let you down, and
All
then
right.
all right. So that was
Thank you.
May. I don't know. I think you have to click on end, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, move to listeners. I got it. Thank you so much. For those of you who just walked in on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, Thank you so much. That was May with That Sausage, and the one before that was Karen with Choose. So we're gonna go back, and Shonda, I think you're next, my darling. Hola, Shonda. Uh-oh.
Hello.
Hi, Shonda. How are you? Long time no
I'm
see.
well. How are you?
I'm great. You're looking beautiful with the purple, pink
Well,
hair.
thank you. Thank you. I had to change it real quick because I know I've been wearing my other outfit for too long.
So, Shonda, tell us a little bit about yourself. Briefly, your name, the name of the title of your poem, and what inspired you to write it.
Alrighty. So, hello everyone. Shout out to Coffee, Salty Coffee. Thank you so much for having this contest and just having us all together to just express how we're feeling or how we were feeling and just having this open space for us, safe space. So again, my name is Shonda Stevens. I am from Pennsylvania, at a small town in Pennsylvania. My poem is called Daddy. What inspired me to write this? So when I was 8, my father passed away from a massive heart attack while he was working on a car. He was a mechanic. And after his passing, I started writing a lot of poems and just writing to just release whatever I'm feeling at the moment. A lot of my poems are very short and sweet. They get straight to the point of how I was feeling at that moment. So this poem that I will be reading, that is called Daddy. It's short and sweet, simple. You get the point, and yeah. So I'm gonna start right now. And by the way, I wrote this in 2019, even though it doesn't feel that long, but it was what I was feeling at the moment. So, oh, Daddy, how I wish you would have taught me more. I wish that you could hear my darkest cries. I wish that you were here to love me and would have supported me. Oh, Daddy, I wish you would have protected me from this wicked world called life, from the types of boys that would know. Oh, let me go back. I wish you would have I'm just gonna start over. Now I'm getting lost with my own words.
That's fine. Don't be nervous. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. We're here. We're all holding hands for you. Just don't be nervous, okay?
Oh, Daddy, how I wish you would have taught me more. I wish that you could hear my darkest cries. I wish that you were here to love me and would have supported me. Oh, Daddy, I wish you would have protected me from this wicked world called life, from the types of boys that you would know to stay away from, insecurities that I know that you would be proud of. Oh, Daddy, I miss you so much. Not saying that mommy isn't enough, but there's something about you that I didn't have enough time to figure out. Why you left me so soon. Oh, Daddy. And that's it.
Wow, thank you so much. And you know that even though you mentioned how quick and easy the poem is, the story behind it is really powerful. For a young girl who really loves her father at such a young age and to lose him, it's really like, um, I mean, it's hurtful, you know? But that little time that you spend with him, I believe he's still with you. So even though your poem expresses how you feel like you didn't learn much, I think you did. I think he's there with you every day when you question yourself. Hey, am I doing the right thing? What's going on? He's there with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And anything you
Thank you
would like
guys.
to share in addition to that, like, cherish your fathers, make sure you look for them. Anything you want to share?
Um, just yeah, I could say that in 2022, my mother, she went through a mass in her brain that caused her to have she lost the mobility in her right arm. So, and I'm the only child. And I had to really step up and take care of her and make sure everything's paid for and everything like that. So basically, the message for my poem is just keep your loved ones close to you. Um, don't forget to say that you love them, even when some moments that you maybe can't stand them. But at the end of the day, just keep them close because you don't know when or where or how anything could happen when you lose them. So, yes, thank you so much, Salty Coffee, and everyone else in the listeners. And I'm out.
Thank you, Shonda, so much.
Thank you.
That was Shonda with Daddy from Pennsylvania. For those of you who are just walking in on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, hello, hello, hello. And for those of you who are just walking in on stereo, hello. And the next participant artist is Nini. Hi, Nini.
Hi, hello.
How are you today?
I'm fine, and yourself?
I'm great. I love the hair, the headphones. Are you a nerd?
I guess, yeah.
That's awesome. Um, please give us your name, which you prefer to be called Nini. So but for those of you, for those who are listening on the outside of stereo, just give us your name, where you're from, the name of your poem, and what inspired you to write it.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good evening. And I want to thank Salty Coffee for having me up here to recite this poem. My name is Nini. I'm from the DMV. This poem is about like being blinded by love and like coming to realization. Like, does this person really love me, or am I just blindfolded with lust? So I'm gonna recite it.
Just give me the title before you start.
It's called Last Supper. I reach for the curtains, hiding, peeking, pain, preserving a smile that leaves us to think, is this all worth it? Curiosity, searching, flooding the room, yet we both stood dry, knowing one thing to be certain, no matter how hard we try, this us isn't just, it's not working. You prepared me a meal because you noticed my stomach was hurting, aching. Maybe this is my person. Maybe the hardships we face serve a greater purpose. Give it more time, fill it out. Maybe, just maybe. I sit still while being observant, seeking, searching. You serve me seafood, a great meal. I feel maybe I deserve this. Maybe, just maybe. I eat it as you tell me you explore my surface, curiosity, searching, read me in and out, my soul being a pool you claim
to be submerged in, yet we both stand dry. I chew my food, smiling, grinning, consuming the words he's spurring. I sat and I thought to myself, so does this nigga know that I'm allergic? Last Supper. That's it.
Thank you. Would you care to share a little bit more about this poem? It sounds very personal. um, was this a real story?
Yes.
Okay. So you're not together any longer. Is that fair to say?
It's complicated.
It's an
I'm
entanglement.
still blindfolded by lust.
Okay.
I'm trying to remove it, but it's like, I don't know. It's hard right now.
Would you think that you may one day create your own Last Supper? Like, do you think you treat yourself the same way, or hopefully you don't?
No, I don't treat that's another story.
Okay. So I want you to learn from this poem that I think you love yourself enough to know that you will never have a Last Supper ever again. But that's amazing. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for participating, Nini. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, and if you again need any, there's so many content creators here on Stereo that you can stop by at any time and listen to them, and they give good advice about relationships. I am not a relationship expert, only because I'm so in love with myself that nothing else matters. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you so much. And I'm gonna bring you down. So this was Nini with The Last Supper.
Yes, thank you.
That was funny. Okay, and we have Lunar Goddess.
Hello.
Hola, señorita Lunar Goddess. ¿Cómo estás? How are
Muy
you?
bien. ¿Y tú?
I know you're I don't know if you had a different name, but I've never experienced a talk on Stereo from you. Maybe just recently. So are you new to Stereo, or you may have been here before, took a break, came back?
I joined Stereo in August of last year.
Okay.
So we came from a music app called Voicey. So it's a bunch of us over here. Well, it's not really a whole lot of us anymore. Some came initially, they felt it out and decided that it wasn't for them. Some of them came over here and thrived and are currently thriving. So that's where we came from. They shut the app down in September. So this has been like our second home. But for some of us, it's been like a second home.
Okay.
Because Voicey was our home, and now we have Stereo, and the connections have been amazing. So I've been on here since August. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that encourage everyone who's on Stereo. You know, if you create great content, please make sure you spread your wings and know that at any given moment, is Stereo, for whatever reason they decide to cut it off. There's always different apps, and it's important for us to spread our wings all over the place. But Luna Goddess, I follow you on Instagram, and I've seen your work, and I think you're amazing. So please tell us, I guess Lunar is your name, but go ahead and tell us your name for the listeners outside of Stereo, and where you're from, and the title of your and the title.
No, it's okay. That's me.
No, that's fine. And the title of your poem.
All right, awesome. My name is Lunar Goddess. Feel free to call me Lunar or Loons or Lou, whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as it's respectful. You said the name of the poem and then and something else. Sorry.
That's fine. Just we know your name already. Where you're from and the title of the
Okay,
poem.
that's right. All right. So I'm from Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. Not a small town. quite big, but small still at the same time. The name of the poem is called Elephant in the Room. I wrote this poem in October of 2021, and actually it was more of a channeled message that needed to get out. So I was in between clients in my car trying to get the words together because it kept coming. So that's what this is. And should I just start?
Yeah, unless you want to share what clients. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. You can say. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, channels and the messages. I get it.
So
But go ahead if you want to share that. That's fine, or you can go ahead and start.
Okay, so yeah, I do channel messages. That just started happening over more frequently over the past 2 years. I channel messages from spirit, from source or whatever, ancestors. And this was the first time that I actually experienced something like this to this capacity. So, and even so much so the words that they were giving me, I had to I had to look up in a dictionary because I wasn't really sure if it made sense or what was happening. So that's how that went. Before I start though, the young lady Karen who started off first, she said the name of her poem was Choose. And when I got up today, I decided to commit to doing yoga and meditation for 30 days. And I was scrolling on YouTube trying to find a yoga practice. And I happened to find one that this girl was actually doing the 30-day challenge. And yes, today was day one. So I happened to stumble upon that. And the word for today was choose. And so the prompt that she gave us was to decide what did we need to choose. And my answer for that was me. And all of this is aligned, and I love how it's just lining up. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Like I said, this is called The Elephant in the Room. I promise that when you finally get a glimpse, just a small glimpse of what people who love you see, you're going to be blown away at how true it's been the whole time. It's like cleaning off the lens of your glasses for the very first time. It's like a fresh pair of contacts, but literally new context. Who the fuck is this? Pay attention to the ones that tried to play you. Better yet, tear down your self-esteem. The same ones that laughed at your dreams, but secretly tried to mimic that shit. The exact ones that try to take that shit. Yes, I'm talking use your heart for their egotistical gain. Oh, but they thought they could sprinkle your magic on their God-forsaken terrain. But guess what? They won't prosper. Because all the weapons they tried to form against you, they shall not prosper. And I said no weapon. I do mean no voice, and no ill will shall prosper. And I mean they got to get ghosts like Casper, pretending to be friendly kinfolk. And I mean presenting themselves as sheep, but dressed in wolves' clothes. All inauthenticity shall and will be exposed. It is blasphemous. The tongue speaks negatively. You cannot curse me. I exude a God energy. Yes, I said it, but let me repeat myself for those who thought they misunderstood me. I said I exude a God energy. So fuck your opinion about who you think I am. I am that God says I am. A warrior, a priestess, a healer. I am victorious, a mastermind, and I shall master the mind because I can. If you take a closer look into your neglected soul, you too would be surprised by all the things you're bound to find. So go ahead and pay the toll, free your mind, learn forgiveness, and in divine time, you will begin to experience for yourself the benevolent power of the Most High. Cry out to God, even with your shaking voice. Your words carry power, but my love, it is your choice. You can choose to be free or be bound by the weight of the world, your struggle confined by your overpopulated mind due to a mental bind and a lack mentality. But one day you'll find that Rest unlocks a stillness, and through an open heart will you discover true emotional fulfillment. Rest assured that satisfaction is guaranteed, but let not your thoughts control your actions, my love. You gotta be at peace with giving their vices little to no of that satisfaction. And I say little because you need to show up in a way where your light shines so bright that not even you can fathom how in the hell, and I mean how with the hell did I get here? How on this earth did I become so rare? But truth is, you were always a gem. And might I add, a very precious one, hidden in the shadows of your peers. So you better believe that there's an exceptional explanation for why God kept you there. See, you are, I am a magnificent creation of the one omnipotent creator, a very powerful and unique being with ultimate and infinite potential to prosper, like a phoenix rising from the in-depth celestial body of the moon's impacted crater. Do you feel free yet? Has your higher self, your God self, taken the lead yet? Well, let me address the triumphant elephant in the room. I am the triumphant elephant in the room, successfully embodying the intelligence, the wisdom, the majesty, because I am majestic. And let's not overlook my loyalty, my strength, and your audacity to think for 1 second that I would fold under pressure. Baby, I am the one applying pressure, so be mindful of your gestures. I pray your soul exists in stature, and let me be clear, I have arrived. She has arrived, and I am making my presence known. My name is already being discussed in rooms my feet hasn't even been shown. Just know that I am coming full steam ahead. My life has been perfectly orchestrated and molded by the divine, but my love, we can all break bread. After all, isn't that what Jesus did? Before there was bloodshed, they said he died for that which we call sin. God would forgive. The end.
Oh my God, I'm sweating. I'm like, oh my gosh. She just woke up the room. She woke up everyone. Luna Goddess. I knew this is what I was based on your Instagram. I was looking forward to tonight because I was like, wow, she's strong.
Oh man, thank you.
Luna, what are we gonna do with you?
I'm trying to figure out the same thing. What am I going to do with myself? I appreciate you, Salty Coffee.
Thank you. I truly appreciate you sharing the elephant in the room. Do you want to add a little bit more about this poem?
So I feel like I really feel like I got dealt with that. I think that my spirit guides or my ancestors, I think they were fed up in a very loving way of me doubting myself and being down on myself, and low key giving up for real on my dreams, on the things that I knew that I felt in my heart to do, the desire. Honestly, I really had no idea that I would be singing or anything. I thought that I would let my gifts go to waste. And honestly, when I wrote this, I was blown away because I didn't know that was in me, but I know that it was other entities speaking through me to get a message to me, and I didn't even realize it at the time that I was writing it. It's just after I recorded myself saying it caught me by surprise. So I think that it was a message for me, but it's also a message that I have to share for other people so that they can realize that they are triumphant and they are victorious and they are intelligent and they are wise, and we can overcome and we will overcome continuously as long as you allow yourself the space to do that. forgive yourself, love yourself, nurture yourself. These are all things that I'm learning, to do for me, putting myself first. Even though I have children, sometimes I gotta put myself even ahead of them, because if I'm not good, then they're not good, and I need to be good for them. So it's just a reminder for me to realize how powerful I am, beyond what my physical eyes can see, or beyond what I feel about myself. I am powerful. You are powerful. We are powerful beings. And we got to start tapping into that power, because it exists in all of us. We all exude that God energy. So be big. Shine your fucking light. Like, this is what we're here to do, not here to play small. So if you got gifts and talents, go after your dreams. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how long you haven't been tapping into whatever it is that you enjoy or what your heart desires. Do it anyway. Do it. Cry out to God, even with your shaking voice. You understand what I'm saying? You hold power. Your word hold power. Your voice hold power. Use it. Use them. All right, I'm not going to preach. I'm not preaching.
All right. Thank you. Well, I had myself on mute on stereo app, and of course I'm chop 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 talking and realizing, it happens to all of us. But Luna, thank you for sharing that. And I think it
Thank
is
you.
important for the elders. Some people are like, no, you're not an elder, you're only, whatever. And then we do the competing elderly age thing, right? But aside from some of other people, I am one of the elders. I think I'm the oldest, actually, as far as the females are concerned, of content creators here. Um, I want to congratulate you on your ability to learn with deeply about your ancestry, because a lot of times, based on how we are raised through this social construct, what we call, and this what we call United States of America, we question it and fear it, and do not allow ourselves to really feel how easy it is to have a dream of your beloved ones, right? And they talk to us all the time. They're here, and we're in fear. Some of us, not all of us. But thank you for sharing that. And definitely, I don't know, someone voted on the link here, and I don't know if it was a joke. I don't know. Okay. So the voting is open, and I want to thank all the ladies who participated, and I am so 100% happy that it was all ladies who participated, because the Salty Coffee podcast was really created to empower women, to
Nice.
inform them, to provide resources for wherever they need help. I am not a professional therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. And I do work a lot. I have 3 jobs, and one of them is not a husband. No, I'm just kidding. But
I think we're losing you a little bit.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I was saying
Yes.
that I have 3 jobs. So when I come to platforms, I'm mostly listening, and I'm not I'm unable to participate because I'm busy working. And a lot of
Yeah.
times we take our day to work for our children, work for our parents, but this has been an amazing time for me. Thank you all who came in and participated. I truly, truly appreciate it. So if I come to your room and I don't leave a message, it's pretty much because I can't.
Yeah.
So
We appreciate your presence, though, for sure.
yeah, and I know, Lunar, I don't know if you know, but I worked for university for 32 years, and
No.
when I got the position, it was exactly a couple of months after
No.
my mom's passing.
Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you there?
I'm here and we can hear you.
Off a little bit.
Yeah. No, I think
Okay, there we go. Okay.
okay. So what I was saying is that where I work at now, okay, she's in and out. All right, I'm gonna put her in the listeners. Okay, because she's coming in and out. Can you guys hear me? Okay, yeah. I can see my mouth moving.
Lunar Goddess. The voice. The real voice of stereo.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Woo, shout out to you, Salty Coffee. What's good, Lunar Goddess? Girl, you ate that shit up. Legit chills. That was amazing.
I think I just came at the very end of it. Will you guys have more poetry nights? Maybe I can get here on more earlier time frame to participate.
Hi. So click on the link and submit your votes. We're getting 4 responses already. If you are unable to click on the link, please make sure that you leave a comment. Congratulations to Lunar. Congratulations to Karen. Congratulations to May. Congratulations to Shonda. And congratulations to Nini. Karen's poem's title is Choose. It's from New York. May's poem's title is That Sausage. She's from DMV area. Shonda's poem is Daddy. She's from Pennsylvania. Nini's poem is The Last Supper. She's from the DMV. And Lunar is The Elephant in the Room. And she's from Philly originally and she moved to Pennsylvania. I can't recall, but she's from Philly. So if you are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, the link has been provided on the comment section of all 3. If you are on stereo, the link is here, or you can leave a comment congratulating those who participated.
Shout outs to Lunar Goddess. Shout outs. Oh yeah. I felt that. Still in me. Shout outs. Shout outs. Shout outs. Shout outs to everybody who's listening. And shout out to all participants. And shout outs, the greatest shout out to Salty Coffee. Palante.
Palante. Thank you so much, Radha Dada. Much respect to you and your family. I see 12 people here. And unfortunately, probably some of you came in late, but you can request to have them redo their poems. I don't know. But the poetry contest voting has started and we have 5 responses. So please feel free to click on the link above and submit your votes. Okay, we have some on Miss Karen, who's on the other platform, congratulates. And Karen, do you want to come back up? Okay. Hello? Okay. If you're there, Karen, please come back up and leave a message.
I'm here.
Oh, it's loud. Okay. You have any last words of encouragement?
I'm still feeling Lunar Goddess. I'm trying to look her up on Instagram because I was like, oh my god. I just wanted to say thank you. This was beautiful and so encouraging to all hearing everyone. It was so inspiring and encouraging. And I appreciate the honesty and the vulnerability in everyone's poems, because it's not easy, and sometimes we don't have the space to express ourselves, and we have a lot inside to let to get out. And Salty Coffee, you created this beautiful space where we can be, just be. So I definitely have to catch up, because I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is beautiful. So thank you again for this beautiful space, this opportunity. And I want to congratulate every artist that shared, and acknowledge everyone, because there'll be one winner, but we're all winners, because just being here takes courage, at least for me. Thank you.
Right. And the great thing about this all that we learned something new from each other that we may have never known before. And that's important. Um, definitely Salty Coffee Podcast is a place for all of us to share, on in a safe platform. You go to many I don't know if I got any children in here today, but it does say 18 years plus. So I think it's important for us to teach our children also, there's just some spaces that they should not go into. So we got more responses. Please, please, please click on the link. If you're not able to click on the link, um, leave a comment on Stereo or leave a comment on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And Karen is right. So many times we try to find a place where we can just be ourselves, and it's not easy. It's not easy because you're judged, or, you know, it is what it is. But like I said before, I think I'm the oldest on Stereo. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I can teach young content creators how to spread their wings into other platforms for free. I don't charge. Isn't that a blessing? So my experience with my beloved mom passing in 1989, March 31st, of all the way, she was in a coma from March 31st. For those of you who are just walking in, um, I'm just going to talk so that people can go ahead and vote. I'm going to give it like another 10 minutes for the voting. And I will share the screen of the voting on the other platforms. Let me just click here. So yeah, if you want to learn how to do live streaming, and that's easy to do. What did I just do? Oh, I did wrong screen. All right, we got a message.
Just once again, thank you, Salty Coffee, for creating this poetry contest, being consistent, because this is your 4th year doing this. So congrats to you for the consistency. And thank you for just having this open for us. And thank you for everyone for just listening, because I'm just a listener on this app. I would love to talk and say things, but I stutter and stuff like that. So I just appreciate everyone that did stop by, or whoever's going to play the playback, and just to listen. So thank you for just listening.
Shonda, you're my daughter. I love Shonda, and if I have to say anything I learned from her is that she is a consistent listener. She's so dedicated, and whenever there is a place where we can vote for a supporter, I 100% will be there to vote for you. Because you're everywhere, just like me in some kind of way. But Shonda is working on her pottery, and not only is she good at being an artist in poetry, although she was kind of nervous, and that's okay. This is why we do these things because, there's no judgment here. Everyone is an artist.
Shonda, let me tell you something, girl. Use that voice. Use that voice. If you stutter when you talk, so what? People got to get used to it. They either going to be there to hear what you got to say or they won't. But let me tell you something. The people that are aligned with you, they are going to show up. The people that are supposed to be there will be there every single time, whether it's one person or 25. Do not be afraid to use your voice. And that goes for anybody. Seriously.
Thank you, Luna, for that. And that is the truth. I hear most content creators who will say, I started with one. I started with one listener or 0 listeners for a while until people started really listening to your voice. So yeah, she's absolutely right. And a lot of content creators here say that too. Just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it, you know. But going back to your pottery, um, anyone who has a business or a career where they would like to share here tonight, Salty Coffee also promotes your business. And after the voting is completed, I'm definitely going to share with you people who I've been interviewed on Salty Coffee that I continue to support them in their business.
Yeah. Big up to all the ladies them, expressing themselves the right way, speaking their piece. I like it. Shout out to Salty Coffee, I went ahead and gave you a follow. I like this. I like the ability to create a platform and a space for the good people them on here to express themselves. Shout out to everybody listening. And congratulations on your 4th year. This is like my first time being in here, I came to Stereo along with Luna Goddess, like August. So, I'm here listening in. I'm definitely going to catch the playback. I was late. So I'm going to catch some playback and it's good to be here. Great.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have to announce that we did have 6 participants, and Miriam, which I think is Asina, she's on the other platform and she made it. If you're listening to me, please turn on your mic. I don't know if she's having technical difficulties, but she is another participant, which we can wait.
Shonda, I'm struck with speech impediment. Yeah, you hear a funny sound when I talk, but don't let it stop you. Impediments, it's not a roadblock. Our minds are the roadblock. So push on, Shonda. Shout outs to you.
Actually, the person who was logged in on the other is not the 6th participant. So I apologize about that. There was some confusion. So we still have a couple of minutes. The contestants were Karen with the poem Choose, May with the poem That Sausage, Shonda with the poem Daddy, Nini with the poem Last Supper, and Lunar with Elephant in the Room. So we can continue waiting a little bit. If you just walked in, I would like to know from you if you would like to just come up and share a poem that's written by someone else, or if you have something and you just want to share tonight that you've written. I know Donatella has said she hasn't written in a while. I recommend people to go ahead I didn't realize that my mic was kind of. I recommend for everyone and encourage everyone to, if that was something that you did, to just take 5 minutes every day and just write. I think it helps. It helps a lot. All right, we're getting those votes in. If you would like to see how the voting is going, you can go to www.saltycoffeepodcast.com and see it live there on the screen. And if you are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, you can also see it there. For those of you who are on stereo, you can quickly go run to YouTube or the website and see how it's going there. So far, with 62.5%, Lunar, the goddess, is up there. But let's give some more people, let's give some more, a little bit more time. And just so you all are aware, beginning Monday, I will start a series named Why the Cocks Fight, and it has nothing to do with men. It has to do with two countries within one island, La Hispaniola, and it's the struggles of the Dominicans and the Haitians and a history. So this Monday at 8 p.m., and it's going to be a series that's going to be broadcast on stereo app only every Monday, followed by the recording on Spotify and all of the podcast platforms. So I encourage you to, if you want to learn a little bit more about those two countries and their struggles, the book was written by Michelle Wooker, and it's something that I learned about my own country and why it functions the way it does. So I encourage you to stop by every Monday at 8 p.m. on stereo to learn a little bit more about those two countries and the people that reside there and the people who left as well. So I learned so much, and it's so sad that they're removing books from. In other words, I'm sad because in actuality, the books that were out when I was a kid, I never saw myself. I wasn't in them at all. I'm like, okay, where's my mother's flag or where's this? I don't understand it. And most of my understanding and history of my mother's country is pretty much from, listening to them in conversations as a kid. So I also, aside from encouraging you to engage with your college student, with your student, with your children in general, I encourage you tonight to go over your finances, to go over your insurances, and hopefully you understand that if your God chooses to take you away tomorrow or tonight, are you comfortable and confident that your children will be okay? And this is why the poetry contest was created, so that the winner can do some research in how to invest. They can take a portion of the $200 and invest it. They can take a portion of the $200 and take a quick course, or they can continue to visit the Salty Coffee podcast and website with resources on how to start your own business for free, on how to find where you can get resources to get an education for free, on how to find ways, as because I when I was raising my two daughters as a single mom, I worked two jobs, but I was still going to school full time. I was still work gigs. I was a bouncer, for heaven's sakes, at one point. And these are the things, with the support of his family, because I had no family. I was able to accomplish those things. But I want you to know that if you don't ask for help, you're never going to get it. If you don't ask for support, and I'm not saying ask for it, but at least share your story. I've heard content creators here on Stereo who share their life story, and it helps. It helps. And I'm going to say this, I miss you, Donatella. So I'm hoping, my mornings are horrible now. So I'm missing that message that you have, the things that you share, you know. So please, we want you back. Or at least if you can do a recording and then we can listen to the playback. That would be awesome. So we have a good 9 votes with Lunar still on top, and hoping that people who just walked in on Twitch and YouTube, if you can just please tune in. So Lunar, I don't want to assume, but I think you are the winner. But please send me your Cash App right now, because one of the things that I like to do is I like to fulfill my promise ASAP right away. So even though this talk was going to be until 10 o'clock this evening, I am grateful for those of you who stayed listening and supporting these ladies who, some of them are shy, some of them were nervous. I myself also get nervous talking about my experience, my personal experience, because it's not something that I do often, but I try my best. So please, go ahead, take this opportunity. Even I'm just hoping that if you didn't hear it, but at least that you're supporting the ladies, and just go ahead and submit a vote. Karen poetry poem's name is Choose. May, her poem was That Sausage. Shonda was Daddy. Nini was Last Supper. And Lunar was Elephant in the Room. I want to thank all of you for stopping by again and supporting Salty Coffee. Let me see. Okay. Ooh, okay. Thank you, Luna Goddess. So, real time live, we're going to announce the winner. And the winner is Lunar Goddess. And she just sent me her Cash App. And Salty Coffee will be doing this again on April 15th, but it would be on a metaverse through P2G networks. So I will be posting that information on my website, www.saltycoffeepodcast.com, or you can follow me on Instagram. I post everything there. Tomorrow night, I will be participating in the Family Feud game with hosts Diamond P and Scotty. I've never done a show with them, but that should be fun. And all of those small video clips that you see on my Instagram, those are the courses that I can teach to you for free. Okay, give me 1 second as I go ahead and I can barely see. Okay, how do I get to the messages? Okay, here.
Salty Coffee, you are such a beautiful soul, and I thank you. I thank you for that. Thank you for always supporting because you're always there supporting, and I definitely appreciate that. And you know, people like you and comments like that are why that I come on here and I'm able to share. I will, I will come back. And I was definitely in my feelings because I just felt like I kind of bare my soul to everybody, and it just, you know, it just wasn't feeling like appreciated a little bit, and my feelings got a little bit hurt, so I felt like taking a break. But it's comments like that that just still amaze me. Shout out to you. Shout out to this whole process. I love it.
I want to share with you this. Sometimes, like Sister Crystal will say, protect your energy. And what if that is the case, I will subscribe to you, where you can have a private, you know, panel discussion, or because your information in the morning is so important for many people. And as a podcaster in outside of stereo, I had to learn the hard way. I'm a very people who give, right? Their wisdom is something that nobody else can buy, right? But if you feel that your energy is not the same, if you do come back, in the morning, because I'm hoping that you do, and I'm hoping that you would not let anyone discourage you from your passions, like Luna Goddess had mentioned. I think it's important for us to really, really have real conversations, you know, and you can do that. And I would support you in promoting the subscription if that's something that you are looking forward to. And not only will I support you in a subscription marketing branding thing, but I can help you in other spaces in the metaverse where you can actually um have your children come in and we can have conversations, parent mothers with children, That's where I'm headed to next in the metaverse because it can be private. It doesn't have to be Zoom where we're looking at each other. You can dress fly like you do here on stereo, but you can actually see the whole body. So I think it's important for us to just take a break sometime, and thank you for sharing that you're just taking a break. But I truly, truly encourage you to just your information is so helpful. And your most recent talks where you take an article and you break it down. I love it. I really do. And sometimes I'm at work, and I'll be honest with you, I'm at work and I bust out laughing. I was like, no, she didn't just say that. So I truly enjoy it. And I know that I don't go into rooms and leave comments, but if you work where I work at, you understand why.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank y'all. Really, thank y'all because y'all voted. For everybody who voted for me, I appreciate y'all. To the other ladies, I love y'all and I commend y'all for sharing your stories through poetry, your experiences through poetry. Keep doing what you're doing, keep expressing, and we're going to keep on being great and we're going to keep shining our lights, okay? I love y'all. Thank you. Donatella, I just want you to know that you are appreciated and you are loved. And I support what you do on this app. I might not show up every day. I might not show up all the time, but when I'm up, baby, you best believe I'm in that room. But I love you, sis. And if there's ever anything that you need, please do not hesitate to reach out and I'll do my best. You know what I mean? But I know that we cross paths for a reason. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for what you do here. I love you, girl. And bitch, I just subscribed and I don't subscribe to no motherfucking body. Because I love you.
And you know what? People may say, well, damn, if you really feel that way, well, why haven't you subscribed now? And the reason why I don't like to subscribe, because I'd rather give you the full amount one time than a subscription, if you know what I mean. Like, I would rather Cash App you where I know you're getting the money right away than to, but if you tell me that, you know, in order for me to come into your room and share where we can have a real conversation, I would do it. But for me, that's one of the reasons why I don't like subscriptions, because I know from participating in Spotify and Anchor and all of that, and YouTube, when it comes to content creators, they take a portion of it and stuff like that. But if you tell me, okay, I'm going to start doing private shows and stuff like that, I would definitely do it. But I can also share with you that there's different ways of doing that, not necessarily on stereo, but that's a different thing. But you love stereo, and you have a group of people that you can, you know, and I like that. All right. Lunar Goddess, is that an I, or is that a one, or is that an L? My eyes, and I'm really can't see.
Congratulations, Lunar Goddess. Shout out to all of the rest of the contestants and your bravery and transparency. Getting up here, bring your soul, not just in front of stereo, but out there in the podcasting land, honey. Shout out to all of that. And Salty Coffee, definitely will be following up with you on the metaverse and kind of maybe coming outside of stereo, my little comfort zone, and maybe branching out. I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try. But thank you for this show. And girl, you don't have to worry about commenting. I definitely understand. Okay, when we out here working, it's your presence. I always feel your presence. And if I don't see you, I'm like, where is she at?
That's funny. So I'm going to give my final words. If anyone has any more comments, oh, we do. Please start leaving your comments now.
Oh no, man. However, I don't do private rooms when I'm trying to get a message out, because I just don't think that is conducive to the message, right?
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That makes
Because
sense.
I don't think everybody who needs to receive it will receive it if I do that. I am very open, transparent, and I don't have anything to hide. The only time that I would do a private room is if I am really on some kind of venting and I don't want that energy to
Okay.
be felt, across the app, because I don't want to kind of put that on everyone.
Got it.
No, you do not have to subscribe. I will continue to do what I do so that you and whoever else wants to come in are welcome to come in.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Um, because it's the stuff that you have done when it comes to events. It's not easy. So, Luna Goddess, hit me up on the back chat, because when I type in your Cash App, it's not coming up. And maybe it's because I don't have your number. I don't know how Cash App works. I just know how to give the money. It's just crazy. But thank you so much for all of you who stopped by. Luna Goddess is the winner of the 4th annual Salty Coffee Poetry Contest. And this is the beginning, episode 1 of season 5. And I appreciate everyone who voted. And I appreciate everyone who has given their feedback, who has shared their most intimate parental and children moments, like Karen with her twins, her black men, beautiful twins, and she has a daughter as well. May, for sharing that sausage. Shonda, for sharing your beautiful story about your father and how he continues to support you because he's here. He's right here. Nini, for sharing her last supper that she really is not happy about and, you know, dismissed it. And Luna Goddess, the winner of the 2023 fourth annual Salty Coffee Poetry Contest with The Elephant in the Room. Thank you again. And I'm going to reach out to, I want to have Luna come up and say, yo, she's right. She did give me $200. But for some reason, her thing is not popping up. So I don't know because it just says no results. So I don't know if I'm spelling something wrong or if I need to have her number. But I really want people to hear her excitement of getting her money. All right, give me 1 second. And you guys can come up if you want to come up. If you have a poem that you want to recite that was written by someone else, or if you know, oh, I can share this. The National Poetry Day is actually March 31st, but National Poetry Month is April. And there's so many artists out there. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, let me see if this works. I just added her number to my contacts. And still, okay. Let me try it now. All right, got a message.
Yes, sis, I'm sorry. It's LON. Okay, I thought you were talking about my IG. No, the Cash App is LON and then scissor hands. So I apologize about that. That's my mistake.
That's no need to apologize. Here I am thinking I'm old. Right. Here I am like, man, Luna, you had me like, oh my God, I know I'm doing like what? She had me all nervous thinking I was doing something wrong. And that's awesome. I'm from New York, born and raised. And okay, here we go. Why does it do this? Okay. And one of the things I had an episode that spoke about that Broadway play In the Heights and my discouragement and disappointment and how they really don't it doesn't really tell our story for those who were born and raised in Washington Heights. So I want to okay. How do I know that it's okay? All right. All right. We're almost there. Can someone answer this question for me? How much does Cash App charge you to withdraw money? Because some people have told me one number, another. So I usually, if the winning prize is 200, I like to send the 202. That's just me. But here we go. Ching. Please let me know when you got it. we go. I got another message. Okay, come up. Anita Louise would like to share a poem. Let me see, where is she? Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Anita Louise. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. You ready with the
Thank you for
swords?
that. What did you say?
You ready with the swords in the back? Like you ready? Whoosh-oo.
I know. Always.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I
Okay,
just want to say thank you for this. Amazing.
You're welcome. So we're still on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. For those of you there,
Okay.
this is Anita Louise. She's on the Stereo app. She's a content creator as well. And I've heard some of her talks, but I'm not familiar too much with the content or if you have a podcast. But please feel free to share your, your name, where you're from, and a little bit about the poem that you're going to talk about right now.
Okay. I came on Stereo just to learn about people, actually. So, no, I don't have a podcast. I get on occasion to share conversation and intellect and laughs, but no, I'm not a podcaster. And I'm actually really shy. So, I use Stereo to kind of help me get out of my shell. Yeah. And I am from California, currently in Los Angeles. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm an artist, but poetry is my little secret place for me. It has nothing to do with, no one really knows that I write.
Los Angeles. Wow. I just want to say this about Los Angeles. When I was in college as an adult and I took urban and labor studies, one of the things that I learned about the um, creation of Los Angeles is that it was purposely built to maintain segregation. So in most cases, and I guess that's why you see, like, whenever they show one side of Los Angeles, they'll show that whole row of homeless people. And wherever the elites are, you need to drive there. Wherever the people who are like regular middle income people, they need to what do they say? It was just amazing how crazy Los Angeles was built. Like it's not like New York. In New York, you can take the subway, one fare, doesn't matter, and you can go to all five boroughs with that one fare. Los Angeles is not like that at all. And I thought that was pretty interesting to learn.
That is,
Yeah.
I
And
think it's interesting. Things that I hear about Los Angeles and living in Los Angeles are very different. And I think it depends on where you live.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely not I mean, the depending on where you live, it can be challenging for sure. I
Right.
mean, I think that's with most places. But yeah, I don't know. That is interesting. I didn't know that it was built for segregation.
And that's pretty much in all cases. But I'm going to mute myself and I'll let you. Can we just play this one message and then we'll continue?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Thank you.
I have received the Cash App and I appreciate you, Salty Coffee. I can't say it enough. Thank you so much. Thank you. She sent it, y'all. She sent it.
All right. I'm going to mute myself and you can go ahead.
Okay. This, I'm getting over a cold, so my voice is a little strange, but this is a poem that I wrote in my time after prayer. So I was hanging out with God and this is what came out of my heart. It's called Time Stands Still. As I close my eyes, I hear and feel the sweet rhythms of my clock ticking to the mellow groove of my breath. A sweet silence floods my soul as I take in your your peace. Not knowing what to expect, I wait to hear your voice. What will you say? This heart has longed for you for some time now. Meet with me, dine with me. Let me take in your sweet essence. Your bread so sweet, unlike anything my tongue has had the pleasure of enjoying. Broken and shared with such grace and generosity. As I sip your wine and an explosive divine dances on my tongue with such grace and complexity. I sip with humility, knowing its great cost. I'm in love. This experience, so lavish, so rich beyond measure, so satisfyingly intimate. Say that we can dine this way forever. Your hand in my hand, your heart beating against my heart. My eyes closed, the clock is ticking, and my breath dances to its sweet beat. Where has the time gone? I take a deep breath in and blow it out ever so slowly. That's it.
Thank you. What were
Of
you
course.
thinking when you wrote that? And like, what was happening? If you care to
I
share.
wasn't thinking. Yeah, well, it's interesting. When poetry comes out of me, it's like it comes from my inner self, so my thoughts aren't working. I'm just writing down what comes from my if that makes sense. So it was more of what I was feeling in the moment and the words that came out of the moment. I didn't really use my thoughts, if that makes sense. I
Yeah.
don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was it was my words expressing the experience and the feelings and just taking in the room and yeah,
So
that's what
I
came out.
have not a question, but mostly a thought that just popped up in my head.
Yeah.
One of the things that I believe people enjoy about either when they see me on Instagram or they'll see, one thing that they'll say, "Oh, your website is so consistent. Everything is so consistent." Um, how do you feel that? Because you said you're not a podcaster, but
Yeah.
would you ever see yourself as someone who can share her experiences and voices?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I do. I do, but I do it like usually it's more of an intimate experience with someone I met or, something like that. But I'm learning not to be so shy about my words and my feelings and my expression.
Mhm.
But yeah, 100%. I feel like a lot of people are inspired by me in my personal life. So
Mhm.
I know that I have a lot of life experience, a lot to give, and I would love to do that one day, maybe.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I would. Yeah, I don't know if I'm in a space to put all the energy into it, but heck yeah, I would love to do that.
I
I like
remember
it.
your not interview, but I remember your um I don't know what to call it for a non-podcaster, but the time that you were with your mom.
Yeah.
You guys were okay, so here's the thing. You remind me of my 26-year-old. And
Oh, really?
yeah, so yeah, I'm that old. But I have a 30-year-old and a 26-year-old, and they'll be 27
Okay.
and 31. And my 26-year-old, you remind me of my 26-year-old because
Really?
when I heard your conversation with your mom, oh my God, you're so overprotected of her, and I love that. You were like some people would say, "Is she correcting her? Like, what's going on here?" But your mom was so
Yeah.
patient with you, and I could see
Yeah.
the relationship, and I loved it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Not I loved it. I love it. Um,
Thank you.
what can you share for those who probably don't really have a good relationship with their mom, or for those who seek uh some type of motherly love from friends or co-workers? I try not to do
Yeah.
that to people, but what advice or what recommendations would you share about that?
I think I would say to always walk in love, regardless of how it may hurt or feel a little uneasy. Because my mother and I actually have worked really hard on our relationship, and she didn't raise me. We've been through some very extremely painful things. A lot of my trauma came from her life and her lifestyle. And, it took us saying, hey, like constantly forgiving, constantly choosing to walk in love, learning to communicate our feelings without frustration, without pain, having grace to one another in our growth processes. When I recognized my mom was a person too, and she wasn't fully responsible for my feelings and that I was responsible for my feelings, it kind of um, kept her on this pedestal as my mother because I respect and I honor her, but I don't like the things that we've been through together, but all the things that she allowed to happen to me as a little girl. But I feel like as adults we grow up and we have to say, hey, I'm not a little girl anymore. And you were young when you had me, so you were growing too. And so anyway, I don't want to over explain, but basically walking in love first before offense, communicating overly sometimes, and just choosing not to let that person go is what I believe has kept my mother and I what you to see on stereo. I think she's like my best friend. I can
That's
call her
awesome.
for anything. She can call me for anything, but it wasn't a crystal stare at all. And we still have our days where we've learned, and she's learned, you're my baby, but you're grown. And she'll, even when I call for advice, she's like, oh, you want to vent or you want advice? Like she's learned boundaries. And I've learned to be like, okay. Like you remember when she was correcting me on the podcast,
Yes.
she back chatted me, Anita, I got this. Don't worry. And I was just fearful because of the things I've heard on stereo and how nasty sometimes people can be in messages. So I was just like, Mom, Mom, don't, and she's like, I got it. I got it. I was like, okay, good. So, it took time, but we walk in love and we try to constantly forgive. And if we're offended, sometimes we take a couple weeks break, but I talk to her almost every day and it's been a long road. So it hasn't always been as pretty as it looks now.
Yeah. My 26-year-old is so rough with me. And
Yeah.
I interviewed her on an episode called Generation X versus Millennials.
Yeah.
I learned so much from her and myself. And I
Yeah.
think I want to share with everyone that the only things our children really remember is our time spent with them.
Yeah.
That's or the time we didn't. So while I was out
Yeah.
there working 3 jobs, being an advocate, being a part of their PTA and engaged in their school activities, and it
Yeah.
was always about, according to her, me. Hopefully I would get to see the side of her and she does appreciate, in the interview, she did say this, which I'm like, really? That's all you got from 26 years?
Right.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
said, the one thing I do appreciate from you is that your work ethics. It didn't matter how you felt that day. You got up, you went to work
Yeah.
because you knew that, a single mom, it's not easy, especially in New York and in the Bronx. So, but do you believe that children are the only ones who can validate and measure parenting, whether it be good or neutral or
No. What do you mean by that? Because I think. Wait, help me to understand the question because I'm not sure. I want to answer it
so
properly.
like a lot of times we tend to measure good parenting by, oh, they went to college, oh, they
Yeah.
excelled, or they did this. That society saying that. But for
Yeah.
me, I believe the only people who can really validate motherhood or fatherhood are the children. That's just how I see it.
I agree.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. And I think also, our children go through seasons. I have a 21-year-old daughter. She'll be 22 in May, and she's married, and her husband have 2 girls. And it's so interesting how she's also very hard on me. And but she also values me, you know, and there are certain things that she criticizes that I had no idea that I didn't even know it was a thing, you know?
Right.
And so it's cool. We
Right.
have these little talks where I'm like, really? I didn't know. For me, I gave you everything and I still do, but there was still so much that like she wanted or I didn't meet, if that makes sense. And, you know, I think that I can meet it now because I didn't even know that it was something she wanted or needed, you know? And I think one thing that's really cool about kids is we get to see them through all of their seasons, God willing. Like if we, you know, get to stay here on earth, we get to be like, oh, you thought that at that age, or you thought this at this age, and I thought this at that age, or do you realize how you were as a teenager, or do you know like the things that I went through? I feel like you can only have those talks when they're 26 or 25 or 23 or, you know, depending on when they're ready. But it's cool to be able to kind of go back and say, hey, how'd you feel about this? Or, yeah, you were not the easiest child. And this is why I seemed really stressed out when this happened. Or this is why, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah,
So I think
no.
it's really cool to be with them throughout their seasons and their different revelations and growths.
So I believe I heard at some point that you were in college, right?
Yes.
And I worked for university for 32 years. I'm not a professor,
Mhm.
but I work in the facilities operations side and I communicate, engage, and see students every day. Today we had Bacchanal, and a lot of
Mhm.
people on Stereo and other apps were not sure what that was. And when I read the definition, would you support your student? Let's say if they were in college, if you know they decide to go to college, were you when you went to college, did you know about Bacchanal and what was your experience?
No, I was just going to ask you. I don't know what Bacchanal is. Maybe I did. I don't know. But no, not as far as I know. Can
And
you
that's
explain to me shortly?
Yeah, that's a good thing that you don't know, because in the
I
32
don't.
yeah, no, because in the 32 years that I worked there, this is my first year that I've actually worked at the campus. And Bacchanal is a crazed party with drunken revelry, ecstatic
Hmm.
sexual experimentation, and wild music. In a nutshell, it
Wow.
is sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And it wasn't like I was shocked that
Yeah,
I
for
didn't
sure.
know about this, you know, in the 32 years. I've heard of it. Like it happens every year. I've heard of it,
Yeah.
but I never knew or was curious about, you know, trying to figure out what it was. And
Yeah.
it's an Ivy League school, and I can't share too much about what
Yeah.
happened recently, because of course, you know, I work at a place where they know that I have a podcast. But
Mm.
what would you advise parents who have children in college when they are faced with an event that
Yeah.
they're just following through and don't even know the history or where it comes from, or what advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, as you know, as a teacher, I totally would not support. I wouldn't. And as a teacher, I would tell the parent. It depends on the parent, right? Because some parents are like, yeah, I did. You know, I mean, even if it wasn't called Bacchanal, like everybody has wild
The
sex
sexual
stories about college. I
carnival,
mean,
yeah.
I don't, but people do, and people assume like this is where you go to do all those things. But you know, me and my siblings didn't. We just weren't raised that way, and so depending on the parent, I feel like the parents that are raising their children in a certain manner the children wouldn't even want to go to that event. And so I feel like it's a rock and a hard place experience because you don't want the parents saying, hey, you know, don't tell me my kid's grown now, or don't tell me how I raised my kid, or don't tell me
Right.
what to do. So I really don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't the kind of college student that was even into that. I didn't even drink till I was like 37. So I can't, I don't know. I can say I don't know.
Okay.
I wouldn't support it as a teacher and I
Yeah.
wouldn't support it as a parent.
And I
So
think the one thing that I would encourage parents to do is to
yeah.
research what's happening on campus every year and why it's happening, and has anything changed? Like, is it still Bacchanal based on the definition, or has it changed?
Yeah.
Because I think it's important for us to, for me, in the 32 years that I've worked there, I've experienced students who come from very um family that are, the family unit is, the foundation is there, you know, like, okay,
Yeah.
these are the rights and these are the wrongs and these are the don't do it. But it's so, yeah, but it's so much you can do as a parent, right? But I think
Yeah.
having the discussion and asking, hey, I heard you guys had Bacchanal. What is that all about? And let them explain to you. And
Yeah.
if they don't know, just encourage them to do the research on it, and they can engage or not engage.
Yeah.
Because what happens,
Absolutely.
yeah, what happens a lot of the times is that, you know, you, Anita Louise, that's you. You decided, you made a conscious decision to not do it, right?
Yeah.
To not drink, to
Absolutely.
not, but there's so many people who are easily influenced and they're not as strong. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I do encourage parents to really have that conversation. And if you're not a parent, to, if you're going to engage, to support your friends in making good and better decisions. That if you're gonna
Mm,
get engaged, do it for fun, the fun side of it, you know, and disregard, you know, the history, and try not to put yourself in a situation where you're over drinking and you're
Yeah.
ecstatic sexual experimentation. You know, I mean,
Mm.
little wild music is
Well,
fine, you know, as long as you keep it, you know.
I feel like, you know, the US as a whole has already we're already in the frying pan of extreme sexual immorality. I mean, as a country in general.
Right.
So it doesn't like I'm not sure if I wouldn't even know what to say to because I know that it would unintentionally come off as like judgy or telling someone what to do, you know, when it's like because they're like I heard about kids doing this thing. This was about 12 years ago where children were having or like, you know, high schoolers were having anal sex to preserve their virginity. And I'm like, who is telling kids to do this? You know, or they would there's just so many things that you know, some parents would just allowing their kids to experiment or they're not around or, you know, or they know, you know, they are very present in their child's life in a way that they think that they are and they don't know what their kids are doing. So
Right.
once a child, I mean, to me, college age, you just graduated from high school, you're still a child, in my opinion. But, you know, 20, 21, like you're just coming out of childhood to me at around that age. And we also know your brain is not fully developed until about 25. So, you know, if that child has a desire to go to Bacchanal, there's nothing you could do as a parent or as a teacher or a mentor. Like they're going to do what they want to do
Right.
unless they have that moral compass for themselves, you know?
Right.
I mean, everybody knows drugs are bad. Everybody knows, you know, over drinking is bad. You know, it just is what it is in a way, in my opinion. I don't know. It's hard to watch happen, but we're
Yeah,
already,
no, I
we're
was,
already,
you know, post COVID,
yeah,
2020 there was no commencement, 2021 there was no commencement, 2022 was half-assed, you know. So, it's sad to see that the people who were in high school during this time are now coming in and they don't know how to socialize, they don't know how to have
yeah,
conversations. They're just isolated. They all want to live alone. And I'm thinking,
yeah,
what a crazy thing to see. 32 years at a university is a long time. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's no, seriously, because when I started working there in 1990, we didn't have the World Wide Web. We didn't have internet. We didn't have anything. We had a one typewriter in the office or 10, one for each employee in every department, and then one system, which was the system to put the grades and do billing. It was just one system. And with that
Yeah.
one system, you had to learn all of these codes. But I think I've seen more than what than what I wanted to see. But
Yeah.
but I do, when it comes to commencement and you see the faces of the family that finally come from those kids that you see every day in the dining hall, in the dorms, in the campus, on the campus, to see them now not engaging in conversation or like just from their room to the dining hall, from class to the room, is really sad for me, because I'm not used to it. I'm used to,
Yeah.
even the Black student organization is not the same. It's like, what?
Mm.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about? What? So it's pretty interesting. But Anita Louise, thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing
Thank you for having me.
your
Of
poem.
course.
Moving forward, now you know what happens every year. But
Yeah.
there will be another one on April 15th through the P2G
Okay.
networks. Miss Ruby, Breakfast with the Thomases, is the founders of the P2G networks. And what they do is a incredible job of getting community building. And well, they gather all these vendors and people who are instruction like instructors on how to do
Yeah.
crypto, how to do financial literacy. That's their thing. Like they do everything. So that event is a metaverse event party, and it was postponed. It was supposed to happen today, but it's been postponed for April 15th. So please make sure that you visit www.saltycoffeepodcast.com so that you can see the information, how to get in, what to look forward to. And if you have your VR, let's get with the program, people. It's not enough anymore to have, the hairstyle and the top, and all you see is the shoulders for a little shimmy shimmy if you have an Apple, right? The metaverse, you can learn how to create your own outfits, learn how to create your own environments, your own room. You can have private chats in there. You can have private, and for the most part, the spatial.io is the one that you
Yeah.
can actually go in there for free, create your own room. And I want to share this with everyone. I had created a room with a gallery, right, about the podcast. And in trying to learn how to add another room within the environment, I deleted the whole thing. So,
Oh no.
yeah. So what I decided to do, has anyone been to like a museum from their state or their city where you see photos of like, this is how this Pennsylvania was in 1900 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll see photos, right? Like in Ellis Island here by the Statue of Liberty, you'll see photos of immigrants who were their passports and stuff like that, right? So in this metaverse world, I'm creating a ancestry tree with photos from my great grandparents, great great grandparents, grandparents, parents from both sides. And the
I love
way
it.
that that works for me is that, you can charge your family for scanning the photos, uploading, saving, and it's a lot of work. But
Yeah.
how beautiful it would be for someone to have the VR headset and come into a room to look at their family tree. Isn't that
Oh, that
amazing?
would be really awesome. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I encourage people always to write their own stories. To even hear Anita Louise, you can do a recording, um, and then just save them and download them and save them for your grandchildren. Because there's
Oh,
nothing
I love
worse,
that.
yeah, there's nothing worse than someone else telling your story. You know, like when
Uh,
when your parents, like my mom, when she passed away, I heard stuff that I was like, I lived with her all my life. Like I don't. That's hard to believe, right? So make sure that you tell your story. Make sure that
yeah,
no one else is writing it for you for their profit and their generational wealth.
yeah, for sure.
Because
That's
even
awesome.
yeah. So any more messages? Let's see. Let's do a shout out. Sandreamer, how are you? My Aquarius friend. Karen. There's Karen. Shonda. Gerald from I'm also having a talk with them damn cow country. I was gonna say cowboys. Them damn country boys, I think it's the name. But how are you, Gerald? Thank you for that. Rada, how are you? I had a quick talk with
Hey,
your
Rod.
dad, yeah, earlier today about Bacchanal. Your dad had great advice about Bacchanal.
Oh, what do you say? I
I
had no idea what to say. I'm like, I don't know.
Rada, if you care to share on a comment, go ahead and share your thoughts with it because I'm not gonna say nothing because his son is here. So he actually I was surprised. I was surprised at his response. I really was. I was like, really? Even your daughter? Like, really? He said, yeah, because we gotta learn certain things, He was really positive about it. And I was like, oh, okay. All
Hmm,
righty. My dog is barking in the
okay.
background. I think my daughter just left him to go do something. Um, Luna Goddess. I don't know if I can. Shamrahu Rubenshik.
Oh, sure.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Adam and Death's Lullaby. Oof. Okay. So, Nita Louise, thank you so much for coming up
Yeah,
and
thank
spending some
you.
time. It's so nice to get to know a little bit more about you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And for those of you who are just walking in, the winner was Luna Goddess in the amount of $200. And she was amazing. Her poem's name was Elephant in the Room. I'm going to leave you all with this message. Love yourself like you'll never love anyone else. Because only you, really you, sleep with you every night. Even when you have somebody else with you are with you everywhere you go. So please make sure, encourage yourself, get up, just do it, write it down, talk about it, and then take action. Don't just talk, take action. Just do it. And I am so happy that Queen Donatella is going to come back because my mornings have not been the same. They have not. Ms. Ruby, thank you so much for stopping by. We spoke a lot about you. If you want to come up, you know what? Let's Ms. Ruby come up. Because Ms. Ruby, I learned from Ms. Ruby to be nice. All right, I don't know why I said. Oh, maybe she's busy. Oof. Maybe I shouldn't have called her. Ooh. Okay. Maybe she can't come up. And that's fine. Um Anybody who has anything coming up? Any businesses that you want to share? Do it now because I'm about to close it. And let's see, Song Dreamer. What do you have coming up? April 4th, Stereo GA, episode 75, Beginner's Yoga. I've noticed that Song Dreamer does do the yoga. And that's very inspiring. Ruby, Breakfast with the Thomases, which happens every Monday and Wednesdays on Stereo app at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So please make sure if you want to learn about life, especially from a lady who's in Harlem or her life, um, make sure you come in with Breakfast with the Thomases because the conversation is real. And their event, the Metaverse, the P2G Networks Meta Party, which is on the Metaverse, is April 15th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Please follow Ms. Ruby, who's here on the Stereo app. Follow her and make sure you go to her Instagram, go to the website because the website p2gnetworks.com has the information for the event on April 1st. Salty Coffee will have an additional poetry contest. Unfortunately, I won't be able to give the 200, but I'm willing to give some cash and some courses when it comes to branding and how to use a website, which websites are good, which websites are easy users and stuff like that for free. Gerald, what you got? Let's see. April 8th, a guest at them damn country boys with salty coffee. We still don't have a topic, but it will be interesting talk. It's a little bit more fun, the fun side of salty coffee. Not everything has to be so serious. Rada Dada, thank you for coming. He has a show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. Yeah, because if I see it's 3 p.m., then it's 3 p.m. Eastern time. Duh. Music. Okay, I'm a little bit confused because it's an M with a star, the S with a snake, I think it is, and a G with a horse, and an R with a silverback. Part 3. I have no clue what that says, but it's music and humor. So what better else than that? So that's Rada Dada, who likes to party, and that's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We have Luna Goddess. Make sure you follow her. She was on today. She doesn't have anything coming up new, but make sure you follow her. Make sure you follow her on Instagram. Make sure you listen to her music because her poem was amazing and she is the winner of the Salty Coffee podcast. So congratulations to her. And I am going to close it out. For those of you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, thank you again for stopping by. Thank you for being so supportive of the Salty Coffee podcast. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for following. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. I just want to share this part with you. On the Salty Coffee website, we get about 4,355 clicks. And if it wasn't for you guys who, engage and show and share content, that wouldn't happen. So if you have a business and you would like your business to be on our website, because I'm thinking, okay, I have 4,000 plus every month of clicks of people coming into my website, please, it's for free. I don't charge. And all you have to do is fill out the form and that's it. And that's it. So support is free and it's amazing, right? When we do things collectively and together, specifically for women, we need to continue to support each other and we need to continue to share and love each other more so now than ever. All right. So good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And I love you all.
energetic man. Energetic man. He fell from the sky into the internet. That's where we met. I logged into his set. His groove was popping. To the dance floor I glided, I imagined. The music consumed my soul. My fingers were out of control. The things that I typed exhibited my height. The excitement that I felt to myself was not kept. As I vigorously emojied my expressions, I could feel strange sensations. The more I commented, the stronger the genres briskly invaded my skin, entered within my interpersonal self. And at that moment, I was somewhere else. I mean, I lost my own mind, twitching and twerking my beautiful behind. Yet there was no club, just this DJ stud. Superman, Superman, bouncing all over the place. Superman, Superman, bouncing all over the place. I could barely see his face, but he was into what he was doing, and I was loving the viewing, yes, of this energetic man. Superman, Superman, whose cosmic language I could understand. Energetic man. Energetic man. At the end of his time, I was excited what had been ignited. I was immediately uplifted, realizing we both had been gifted from the universe, first from the gods, who gave their approval with nods, that these two spirits are alike, and spiritual meeting is in flight. Within 2 days, there was communication. He reached out to me. What was it he said? I accepted the request, and the spirit spat on us universal jewels that right then and there we both drooled. As our spirits ran into the same cosmic stream, we were instantly comfortable with one another. I'm thinking, damn, I just met this brother. The feeling was so sensitized that I realized that this was magical, magic that we had not anticipated, but the flavor that it delivered gave us a new vision. We saw everything as being one. We put it together and then we shined. I was his and he was mine. Superman, Superman, Superman. He took me to levels that took me from the ground, and I remember, I knew I was heaven bound, 'cause I floated on every word that came out his mouth, and it took me a while to realize that I had been touched by the universal spirit. Superman, Superman. over the place. He was into what he was doing, and I was loving the viewing, yes, of this energetic man.
Music is love. Let's begin. All you gotta do, boy, is come on in. Whipped cream by the bed, strawberries too. Got a bottle of champagne waiting for you. The mood is set, the time now. I'm ready for you. Gonna put it down. Temperature is rising. It's getting hot. You're the only one that can put this fire out. You say you need a lover. You say you need a friend. I'll be both of them. Just come on in. Come on in. Just come on in. Come into my bedroom. Come on in. Now that you're in, let your clothes fall to the floor. Lay down on my bed. I'll take control. You don't even have to say a word. Just lay back and get comfortable. Now I have experience. This sure you. I guarantee I know how to please you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me have my way. I wanna take my time. I wanna make you feel real good. As I say, baby, say you need a lover. Say you need a friend. Say you need a friend. I'll be both of them. Just come on in. Come on in. Come on in, baby. Just come on in. Come on in, baby. Come into my bedroom. Come on in. Come on. Wanna explore your body, every inch. I wanna kiss you with my sweet lips. Come on, boy. Let's work up a sweat. Let's make this a night that we both won't forget. Say you need a lover. Say you need a friend. I'll be both of them. Just come on in. Come on in, baby. Come on in. Come on in, boy. Come on in. Come into my bedroom. Come on in. Come on in. Come into my bedroom.
I'm staying in bed thinking back on us and everything that went wrong. Never said goodbye, think I broke your trust. Should've known this all along. Don't wanna be the one that you're trying to avoid. I'm feeling so confused. Why did I act so annoyed? 'Cause I don't wanna be strangers, baby. The next time when we meet, and oh, it dawned on me, yeah.
swear there's nothing that could stop me, baby. Oh, I would fight for just your type. Oh, it's just something about your way now. You keep looking so good, looking at me, making me feel like I do it all for you. Looking so good, looking at you, baby.